I bet some of you didn't know that chocolate milk, which is enjoyed by the entire world, was invented in Jamaica. But then the British steal the idea and said they were the one who invented it. Before we dive into how the British steal the invention of chocolate milk from Jamaica, let us look at how it is made first. A lot of us who grew up in the country know what a cocoa tree looks like. Now, in simple terms, it is the beans of the cocoa that is roasted and then grind into a fine powder. Back in the days, our grandparents used to grind it in something they call mortar. Not many of us younger generation know what a mortar looks like. Anyhow, this is then mixed with cow's milk and other ingredients and preservative to enhance taste and shelf life in today's world. But that's basically how it is made. Now that you get the idea, let us jump right into how the British thief it from us. The chocolate milk story of who invented it has been up for debate for centuries, if most of you didn't know. Some historians claim that an Irish physician named Sir Anne Sloan is to be thanked for the delightful beverage. But just like the story of Christopher Columbus discovering Jamaica when the Taínos/Arawaks were already living there is completely absurd. The Natural History Museum in London claims that when Sir Anne visited Jamaica in the 17th century, he was given cocoa tea to drink and he found the taste to be nauseous. So he added milk to the cocoa tea. Better make it so ras lie. The people then give the tea with milk in it and you go back and go tell lie, say just the cocoa then give and it never tastes good and you put the milk in it. All because you want to thief the idea. When his quest came to an end, he brought the recipe back to England. Where it was eventually sold as medicine. So the man thieved the idea and go back to England and say, oh, yo, me find one new invention, taste this, and give friend them for taste and say, yo, me invent it. Can you imagine that? Anyway, James Delbargo, a historian and a researcher, however, expounded on the ridiculous idea of Sir Anne inventing chocolate milk. He said, despite what the records show, Sir Anne technically cannot be given the credit as the inventor of chocolate milk because the Dairy Alliance states that way back in 1494 when Christopher Columbus arrives at the tropical island, the people of Jamaica were whipping up beverages brewed with cocoa shavings, milk, and cinnamon. 1494, that's way before the 17th century, before the doctor got to Jamaica. So how you managed to invent it? Now I'm going to teach you something else. While we're on the topic of chocolate milk, let's just move the chocolate for a second and look on the milk. Now, from a little and a grow up, they must say milk good for you and milk strengthen your bone. Rubbish. Now, before you start saying rubbish, me attack, watch this.
Cow's milk is baby calf growth food. That's what this stuff is. There's absolutely no child or human on earth who actually needs the milk of a cow any more than they need the milk of a giraffe or a mouse.
Our government is encouraging Americans to eat foods that it knows is going to make them ill.
Yeah, milk is a risky food for human consumption. As a pediatrician, I see on a daily basis children suffering from conditions that are linked or associated to dairy consumption, such as eczema, acne, constipation, acid reflux, iron deficiency anemia. Cow's milk protein is the most allergenic food.
People say, well, no, I want hormone-free, not injected with bovine growth hormone. But milk is this hormonal fluid, so it's just packed with sex hormones and natural sex steroid hormones like estrogen, progesterone. In fact, doesn't matter if it's conventional milk, doesn't matter if it's organic milk. Milk without hormones, that's an oxymoron. Organic dairy has just as much saturated fat and cholesterol and galactose and all the things that you don't want as conventional dairy.
Dairy products in general have a lot of other products associated with it, not the least of which is pus. I mean, they actually have laws limiting how much pus you can actually have in a milk and still sell it. I believe it's like 750,000 pus cells per cc. Because, I mean, you wouldn't want too much pus, it would be like pure pus, people might object. In fact, you could think of cheese as kind of coagulated cow pus, if you would.
Researchers have studied bone development in kids and whether they get stress fractures and that kind of thing. And the kids who drink the most milk have zero protection. Milk does not build strong bones. Harvard researchers have looked at a large group of older women. Over an 18-year period, the milk drinkers had zero protection from fractures. So this old notion that somehow milk is going to build strong bones or protect your bones later in life, it's a myth.
People that drink milk have higher rates of hip fractures, have more cancer, and live shorter lives.
And it goes further. Milk and other dairy products are the top source of saturated fat. It is also a contributing factor to heart disease, type 2 diabetes, Alzheimer's disease, and studies have also linked dairy to an increased risk of breast, ovarian, and prostate cancers. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we're never too old to learn, and most of we hold on to certain idea, old tradition and old idea, and don't want to let it go. But we're never too old to learn. If you never know, so them steal the invention of chocolate milk from us Jamaicans, and that milk is not good for your bone. It was all a myth. Now you know.